Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion. Today, Minecraft, of course, is about all things well-being and about becoming the boss of your brain. That is the big ticket right there, because what we allow in here literally dictates what happens out here, and that is the inside sort of directs the outside, and that's how it works. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm in my very fun, very cheerful office with the snow coming down, which is gorgeous. And here I want to talk to you today because I've just been inspired again. I've just been inspired a lot lately, which of course inspired literally means in spirit, right? So I was, actually did a couple of podcast interviews back to back with two colleagues slash friends of mine, reverse order, friends slash colleagues, and one of them was on serendipity, or actually synchronicity, which they're very close, but synchronicity yesterday, that'll be out this weekend. You have that to look forward to. That's Tom Myers. And another friend, Maz, it's Lisa Mazzarello, I'm being your own biggest fan. So between the two of them, what I want to talk about today is the fact that you are here matters. It matters a lot. And here we are, we're almost up to what, 8 billion people in this world right now. It's crazy. And you would think, there's got to be overlap, anything that's, everything's already been done, blah, 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 blah. We add into that all the, the ways we cannot feel enough and all the negative self-dialogue, blah, 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 blah. And we can sometimes just get that feeling of being, I'm thinking like, this came to me, of course, being on Fifth Avenue, the beautiful Fifth Avenue during Christmas time. It's absolutely gorgeous. However, if you know how New Yorkers do the stride, if I weren't holding the camera, I could show you, but it's like you get swept up like lemmings, and if you try to go opposite how they're going, you can't do it. And I think it's very difficult to do it, and I think that we can get caught up in feeling alone in a crowd, or like one of many, or like what we are doing isn't important, doesn't matter, and all, and maybe the job we're doing is it's something perceived by people in general to not be as important, which that there does such a thing doesn't even exist. You can make such a difference working at Dunkin' Donuts or in a bank or as a doctor, lawyer, teacher, a person just really helping a stranger on the street that's life-changing, like who knows. But the whole thing is that your life really truly matters. And here's one thing, is that we are all connected by this divine energy. For me, it's God, but say source or higher power or universe or whatever. And the thing is, and this is part of the synchronicity thing that's coming up, is personally, I don't believe in luck. I just don't believe in luck, because things all happen for a reason. The power greater than all of us in the universe is busy sliding all these puzzle pieces into order, and none of it is luck. It just isn't. And also, I'm having an Oprah inspiration at this moment too, because she talks about her definition of luck as being when preparation meets a moment of opportunity. I love that, because it's like we're just floating around and stuff happens. We've kind of like we've been in alignment with our personality and kind of getting our stuff together, and then the opportunity shows up. There's nothing lucky about that. The universe is listening, because we all have a conversation in our heads before whatever is next. We don't always notice it right away, but it's just like if we're no longer happy in a job, and I'm not even saying miserable, it might just be we're kind of plateaued and we're not growing anymore. Okay, so we start to have this conversation in our head. When we're in the car, for example, we're headed wherever we're headed, and these thoughts just start to come into our heads, or we're in the bathtub or whatever, and none of it is luck, because the universe is listening to every single thought that goes out there, and that's when the conversation picks up momentum like a snowball and turns into something. The other thing I don't believe in, unless we rephrase, is coincidences. So I was having a talk with my friend Tom, the synchronicity guy, yesterday, and we were talking about, he had so many stories that were just wild, that things that had happened. And like I told him, shared a few of mine with him, bumping into a friend in Manhattan who was on my mind. Like, think of that. Like, what are the chances of that? And bumping into another friend at the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. Think of the chances of that. We knew we were both in Ireland, but we actually, on opposite sides, made no plans. She didn't know we were at the Cliffs of Moher, nothing. and her husband starts walking towards us in the cafeteria. Like we could have been in the restroom. Think of the timing of that, even if you're actually at the same place. And it was packed. There's a lot of stories with which he's going to share with you in his own podcast talk. But the thing is, no coincidences, because the universe is constantly this such an intelligent force out there, who thankfully is in charge and not us. Takes the pressure off. Okay, but the other thing is, I think it's Wayne Dyer who says there's no such thing as coincidences, but he calls them. It's different when you say coincide, because that changes the game right there. So I was saying that with Tom. I don't really believe in coincidences unless we talk about them as coincidences. Coincidences is because the universe is putting it all together, and this is the thing. Each one of us. I'm thinking of snowflakes right now. You probably can't see that because it doesn't work that well, but snowflakes everywhere. And it sounds cliche to say we're all snowflakes, but we are. There are no two people out of 8 billion, never mind the people who have gone before us and the people who come after us, no two of us are the same. And your existence on this planet is part of a big wide web of spiritual beings having a human experience, and it all matters. And so, and I remember I get my inspiration from everywhere, and it's Oprah and Wayne Dyer and my friends I just talked about. And Will Smith said once, he said, really what his goal was, and he said, I want the world to be a better place because I was in it. And I took that from him. That had to be. I use that in my class sometimes in Mindcraft. Had to be 10 years ago. I think maybe 8. I don't even know. But I took that from him because I want the world to be a better place because I was in it too. Imagine if all 8 billion of us, sort of had that running through our heads. And we're not talking about starting a nonprofit organization. If you can, good for you. We're talking about, here's some more inspiration coming right at me. This must just be meant to be. Synchronicity, Tom, if you're listening. Mother Teresa, right? We can do no great things, only small things with great love. Slightly paraphrase. It's just all of us matter. It doesn't matter if you work in retail, which is maybe like a per hour job and that's considered less than, which of course it is not because we need everybody, or you have no job and you've made a huge difference in someone's life just with a conversation or whatever. It's all part of everything. And the thing is, life is constantly, in order to steer us back on track, is constantly giving us quizzes and exams. And Oprah calls them whispers, right? If we don't listen to the whispers, the quiz turns into an exam and it just gets bigger, bigger, bigger until we actually pass whatever it is we're meant to do, and to find our direction. And each and every one of us, my personal belief, has something that we were meant to do on this earth, something that's unique to us. And here's the thing, your purpose, your meaning, your something you're supposed to do. If you don't know what that is, you want to start right now, today. Don't waste one more of your life minutes and figure out what that is and get a general direction, because otherwise you're just floating around, floating, okay? Because finding out, your authentic purpose, and finding your authentic power. We've talked about this, living your highest vibe. There is nothing more important than that, and how it's kind of like an umbrella, because if it's like, I want to be be the best parent, be the best this, that was definitely part of my bigger purpose, no question. But living your highest vibe is like the umbrella over all of that, because when we are living on our highest vibe, we found our authentic power, we are whole and complete, and we are just spreading the love and positivity all over the place, and it leaks into all those other things. We're in the flow zone. We're in the flow where it's hard to even put it into words. You just know when you've gotten there. And really the only way to do that, Tom and I were talking about this yesterday, is to realize, understand, embrace that collective divine connection. Call it source, call it universe, doesn't matter what you call it. But that omnipotent power of intelligence, that force running through all of us, you got to tap into that in order to get where you're going. It just is how it is, to be your authentic self and find your authentic power. And when you do this, you find the music, you find your own music that you're meant to play and only you can play. And then hopefully, at least this is my personal goal, is I am not checking out of this earth until every last note has been sung or played, whatever. I got a lot of music in me still. I'm playing my music now, and I'm not done yet. And so that is my plan, is to go skidding into home plate, you know, empty wine glass in one side, and then, you know, you know, empty bank account maybe on the other side, because I had a grand old time the whole way. I don't really want to say that though, because I would leave money to my kids. But anyway, safe at home. She had a great ride. It was the best. No music left in me. I played every last note. So the fact that you are here matters. Find out what your music is, and then play it. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the big game. All right, then. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from my very cheerful office in northern Vermont in a blizzard. Have a mindful day.